Hi, I'm Ross Payne and welcome to the Valley Preview. This week we're back with City Jeep Night Racing. On Friday night, our first race is listed for 6:45pm with gates opening at 5:15pm. First, with Marty on leave, it's time to head to Tony Salisbury with the track update. Now, Tony, everyone calls you Flash. We have to ask the story behind it.
Yeah, no worries, Ross. But to be honest, mate, I think things are better left unsaid.
All right, we won't go there. What we will go to is your tip. Marty's away, and we've given him a chop anyway. So we'll go straight to you, Flash, with your tip for Friday night.
Yeah, I think race 4, number 2 in the Jeep Challenge. Let's rock and roll. DK Weir and Dwayne Dunn. Good combination so far this spring, so I think we'll stick with that.
Now, on a serious matters, Flash, the track condition and also the rail position for Friday night.
Yeah, rail will be in the 2 metre position. At the moment, we've got a pentrometer reading of 4.59, which is in the dead 4 range. Just weather pending, I'd say we will probably go to a good 3. Just we're not too sure what the weather's going to do on Friday. Should we get a bit of rain, it'll probably hold that dead 4 position. But I'd say at this stage, all things being well with weather, we might get the upgrade to a good 3.
Nick Heathcote joins us to discuss the latest news from the track. Welcome to you, Nick.
Thanks, Ross. Last week we learned a little bit more about track preparation, about the Strathair surface, watering, aeration. This week we decided to look at moving the running rail and how that impacts racing. Moving the running rail, it's an important thing to help protect the track and preserve the track over the full 28 meetings of the year. Why do you do it?
That's right, Nick. We've moved the rail just for the sole purpose of spreading the wear throughout the track. We've got true out to 7 metres, gives us 8 moves for the year. So it's not a lot of ground that we have to play with here, but it's what we're given and we deal with it the best we can.
So is it a measurement taken after each meeting, like 2-3 metres? It sometimes goes out to 7. Is it based on the wear and tear per meeting?
It is pretty much a set formula. We have our feature meetings and so forth, so we try and give them meetings the premium ground, true to 4. We start losing fields or numbers in a field sort of from about 3 or 4 metres plus. So we drop off 1 number or 1 horse per race, per metre of ground that we move out after 4 metres or 4 metres and out.
Perfect. So let's now take a look at the first step of moving the rail.
No worries, Nick. Just right here in front of us here, we're at the winning post, the home straight obviously. We've got a surveyor's block here. We use this to actually measure where we're going to position the rail. So if we've determined that we're going to have the rail in the 2 metre position like we do here on Friday night, we measure 2 metres off this surveyor's block and that'll give us our position to put in a peg onto the 2 metre position. We measure off those surveyor pegs to get our rail position. Then we put a peg into the ground, as you can see here. We then tie off a string line to those pegs every 20 to 25 metres around the course, and that gives us our exact position as to where our rail needs to lay. Okay, so once the rail's laid on the ground, as you can see it is here, every 3 metres on this piece of rail, there's one of these knuckles, as you can see there. We have our measuring device. That's a standard measure from the back of the rail, the base of the rail, so that actually enables us to then position our leg into place. The leg is actually connected to the foot there, as you can see. We push that into the ground and then we chase it up later on with a hammer.
Tony, the foot is connected to the leg, obviously, but it looks like there's got a safety measure there.
That's correct, Nick. Once we follow up, drive this foot into the ground as such, we put the rail on, as you'll see after. Once the rail's all in place during the course of a race, should there be an accident, horse goes under the rail and so on, the horse will just go through and kick the leg off like so. The rail will still sort of just sag in those positions, but safety being paramount. Back in the day, they used to just be a fixed pin connected to the foot, connected to the leg, and that would not move.
The foot's in the ground, the leg's on the foot. Now it's time to put up the rail. We've got a fantastic machine over to our left here. Run us through this, Tony. How does it work?
Yeah, this is our pneumatic hammer. That pretty much just runs on an oil pushing through the system, a hydraulic machine. We turn that on, we prime it up, we warm the machine up, get the oil flowing through the unit itself. Then we take the actual breaker, we call it, off the bracket there. We carry that across, the arm swings around, the rope comes across. We place that on top of the foot there. There's 2 locating pins, as you'll see. We pull the trigger, drives it into the ground.
The final step to really push that foot hammer it hard into the ground so it's flat.
Correct. So the boys will just come along, they'll grab a piece of rail at every leg, they'll sleeve the rail on top of the leg. There's a little orange lug at the back there, they push that through the hole and that joins the leg and the rail itself actually together. As the second piece of rail goes up, you'll see over here Sam's just going to join both together. On the back end of that rail there's a internal sleeve join which is then screwed both sides. One side's finger tight, the other side we use a tool to actually put a bit of tension on it.
Now, Nick, we won't tell everyone how you did over the carnival, but let's take a tip from you anyway.
Thanks, Ross. I've had better springs, but race 5, number 1 on Friday night looks a really good bet. Amavard from the Darren Weir yard. I know Flash has tipped a Darren Weir runner, but I think he's in for a really big night. It did a lot of work early in the 2,500 metre race last time against Avero. Meets it better at the weights. I think it's probably the best bet of the card. The other race I like is race 3, number 8, and that's Escobar from the Lloyd Kennel yard. Do your replay and have a look at its first start win, and you'll be really impressed by that also.
If you're planning a Christmas party, come and join us at the Valley. We can tailor a package for you. Call us on 1300 The Valley or see our website for further information. And members, don't forget our dress regulations for Friday night are relaxed, with the jacket and tie being optional. We look forward to seeing you Friday night at the Valley.